Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We'll jump back in the queue, and if you stick around long enough, you might see me eventually win a game. I know. You may have heard rumors. It can indeed happen. It's a rare sight, like a Harvest Moon, Blue Moon. I don't even know. Like, Blue Moons are rare. Are Harvest Moons rare? I assume so, but I don't really know what they are. The real Sir... What? Excuse me, I have to... The real Sir Shady, okay. Was the real Slim Shady taken? Was it too long? I think this guy must be right at the, yeah, 16 characters, I believe, is the limit. And that's what this comes out to. Ruined Shadow is a comfortable, what, 13? 6 and 7, yeah. Everyone's going red-green with infusion grids, so multicolor everything. Nobody bought a centrifuge, which I wonder, like, would that have been a good way to get a single infusion grid? What else would you do with the rest of your tech, though? No one got a chrono filter either. I guess Hellhounds are just great, so you want lots of blue, sure. But it feels real bad to have Ferals and Infusion Grid playing together, because Infusion Grid wants to absorb very badly, but so does Feral. Actually, Ruined Shadow's on substantially higher economy now that I look at it. I guess the advantage is that the real Sir Shady has, like, these Sentinels producing pseudo economy by building engineers and letting them continue to harvest Galvanis and so on. I don't really have any idea who's winning. Yeah, brilliant insights, I know. How are we in terms of attackers? Over here, I count 6 attackers, and over here I count 5. You know, these all attack for an average of 1 per turn. The Scorches are sort of spread out. The Hellhounds are immediate. The Sentinels sort of attack for 2 because they attack for 1 and defend for 1. But they're also stamina, so they don't last forever, right? And so I guess Ruined Shadows is at a temporary disadvantage, and he needs to make sure that it doesn't escalate into a permanent disadvantage. And I think just building attackers is a fine way to do that. I wonder if you're going to try holding the Sentinels again and just click a Galvani with your 1 attack. Doesn't seem that great to me. The Sentinel charges are not worth nothing, but you do want to eventually get that attack out because they build engineers for you, right? Trying to build Sentinels that attack every 3rd turn, get full value out of them 9 turns after you buy them? 10, I guess, because they have to attack 3 times and then defend. I think I like Ruined Shadow's position there. Alright, Flabbergazda. Base plus 8. 60 seconds. Some big units out there. Arca seems like pretty good. Flame Animus seems pretty good. Lance-Tooths would be good if you can get them, but that's a bit tricky. Smorkus will really help with your excess red, although so will Bloodphage. Hannibal would be nice, but you might not really get that kind of economy going to be able to build a Hannibal train. And it's not going to be good as a rush attacker. Although I did have someone beat me, like when I was thinking like Lance-Tooth is good against Hannibal. I remember someone beating me when I just went like Lance-Tooths into his Hannibal. And I just could never get up to 7 attack because he just killed all my shit. Like, it was Masterbot actually, wasn't it? Oh man. So I mean, like, DB feels like a pretty natural opening because Flame Animus is good when red is good, and even often when it's not good. Here, red is amazing, so you want your Flame Animus ASAP. I think player 1 should absolutely DB. I don't know, like, what would be the justification for not doing that? Wow. I don't think this counts as justification. I was thinking some sort of like, okay, maybe you have some plan for getting 2 attack more quickly because Lance-Tooths and like Flame Animus kind of sucks the first turn you get it. Which is true, but I don't think that makes it worth skipping. This third engineer is just shocking to me. I don't see any reason to do that. Now, can I do this? Can I get Lance-Tooth Bloodphage here? I think so. Why couldn't I? It's $14 and I have 15. I have 2 attack. It means I'm not getting a second Flame Animus, but that's fine. It's just amazing to be able to do that. And if my opponent doesn't build a wall, I get to kill 2 engineers, denying their sort of econ plan, whatever that is. Next turn I have a little too much attack for more Lance-Tooths, so I could consider building a Flame Animus instead. But, like, isn't Lance-Tooth kind of still good? I think it is. Wow, that's a lot of tech all of a sudden. I could do this, and I'm wasting 1 attack, but like, what's the alternative? Oops. It's this. Kill 1 engineer and build 1 attack and 1 gold per turn instead of 2 attack per turn is sort of what this is doing. And I get, it's 2 gold because I get to build this engineer, right? This might be better. I'm sort of producing 2 extra gold per turn and 1 less attack per turn, which comes out about net even. I kill 1 more engineer, but I cost myself 2 gold, which is also about an even trade. I think I'd rather do this so that I can get down like a Smorkus or something. I'll have 6 attack next turn, which I guess I'm just using all of. This is a tough choice. I think I'll try this line. Not building the second Lance Tooth definitely feels bad, but I think it's playable. Should I even build a wall here? I don't think so. I'm just gonna attack for everything. Kills the Rhino. They get 1 engineer for it, but holding this back is killing 1 fewer engineer and keeping 1 more alive. I don't like that trade. They are defended with just rhinos. So I could hold back an attack, or I could just build a rhino myself. Sort of gambiting that I'll have to defend this if they can really attack with everything, which is a bit tough for them to do. Hang on. I really should have put a bit more thought into getting an Arca at some point. Two, 3, 5. I have like 8 permanent attack here, right? So an Arca's not bad, but it's also not exactly great. They should have a pretty easy counter Arca if they want it. Actually, if I could build another forge, I could Arca plus Lance Tooth. That's probably pretty unrealistic. Oh, I have 9 permanent attack. Right, that would be Arca plus Lance Tooth. But I can't do that. I can't get a 3rd forge. Alright, let's just try this and see what kind of pressure we can put on them. Oh. I did not see this coming, although that's 4 red up there, so I clearly should have. I don't know, they're paying a lot to get this to happen. They're losing probably 2 attack here, maybe only 1. So they can breach for exact if they absorb onto Rhino and click everything. I choose to believe that they can't do that. So I'm going to try to get this Hannibal down. They're therefore attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, at most 5, 9. They can't Arca me because they don't have the 2nd blue. So I could hold a drone to prevent even this Gambit, but I think the Gambit would not be in their best interest as the player owning Lucina. You want the game to be slower, not faster. And this Hannibal, like, seems pretty cool. If I can get it to stick, it's a big advantage. So I'm gonna try for it. Oh man, they're gonna try to Arca too, huh? Jeez. Although, gotcha, I already built a Hannibal, so you're already able to deny absorb without building Arca. Joke's on you. I guess you could click it and build 2 Lance Tooths. That's pretty out there. One, 2, 3, 7. So they can hold the perf. And they've lost all the rhinos. So they have wall, NG, NG, perf. 5, 7 defense. They're building an Arca. Oh my god. I think they're going to get the Arca to stick. So maybe I should look into a way to counter Arca. 1, 4, 6. I just have too much attack. I can't do that usefully. I'm just going to try to put on more pressure. I don't know how great that is when you could have killed a Hannibal anyway. But I'm the idiot with no Arca, so what do I know? No Arca and no Lucina. Wow. So what's the deal here? They're losing at least one attack. So this is defended. Another Bull. Click the Smorkus. Splitter. Engie? Maybe instead of... Maybe I should have gotten another Flame Animus at some point? I think it's a little late. I think I just need more Splitters. But opponent really does have, like, some pretty serious advantages that I'm gonna need to work against in order to actually win this. Yes, good play. I didn't realize you had so little permanent attack that I might actually not get my Bull value. Joke's on me there. This forces them to lose an attack, so again, I'm defended. And they definitely are giving me full absorb this time, so no sense doing any funny business. But they're sort of growing their portfolio with Lucina and Bloodphage, where, I don't know, I guess I'm not exactly stagnating. I'm adding Splitters while they're adding Bloodphages. I'd rather be adding Bloodphages, but, you know, we're each adding attacks. And their Lucina is generating Soak. Soak with Threat. They're not really doing much attacking with this Perforator. This kills 2 rhinos, so defends for exact if they attack with everything. Can I offer that gambit? Can I say, are you really going to attack with everything just to deny me a wall? They'd have an engineer to defend with and nothing else. I'm threatening 5, 8, 11, sorry, 10, 12, 16, 18, and they have an engineer and 2 red and 2 blue. I don't think they can take this. Hold back 10 drones. 11. I think I should have gotten an Arca a while ago. It's not denying Absorb, but it's still a good unit. I guess the problem was, for as long as I own Hannibals, Arca is bad. Because then they can actually deny me value with it. So I need to, like, get the Arca next turn, is what I think. Hang on. I don't need this wall, do I? No, they're losing 2 attack. This is losing only one attack, though. I actually do need to click the Smorkas. I was trying to, like, click the Phage instead and buy another Smorkas. But I think I have to settle for this. Honestly, maybe this Tarsier should just be NGs. Yeah. Ooh. What if I could click a Hannibal and then buy Arca? That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Are they out of walls or something? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're not buying Arca this turn, I can tell you that. Glad I bought all those NGs. They're losing one attack, but not really important. The Rhino's the best thing to build anyway. And it additionally, as a nice side advantage, plays around the gambit of them attacking with everything. Impossible though that is. So what's the deal with this? All of these attacks are doing nothing, so I guess I'll just hold them all. I might want to sack them for some reason. But I want to, I guess, calculate what I'm actually sacrificing. And consider building Rhinos to sack instead of, like, doing this. I don't know, it's probably fine to just build NGs, right? Maybe another Animus. That's pretty out there, I guess. I was thinking it's like, it's fine to build it because it's basically just drones that threaten to attack. I don't know. I should just build more NGs. I'm out of NGs! Oh no! Alright, well, give me that Animus so I can build Rhinos. Yeah. I don't know, this Animus is pretty silly, I think. Here we kill what? They get to keep 4 alive, that's 1 attacker, we kill 2 damage. This Smorkas should just be Rhino, I think. I need soak a couple turns from now more than I need a little extra damage now. Is that true? Actually doesn't sound true. I think adding 2 damage for $5 is pretty cool. How much attack are we killing here? I don't know, I'll build a Rhino. I thought they were about to resign. We're killing at least 1 attack. So, don't technically need this wall. The Rhino already gambits pretty well. And then just get this last NG. No, get a conduit for force fields, of course, since we're out of NGs. All right. So that was a cool game, I think. I don't want to sound demeaning. In most of the games I've had against Flabbergazda, I usually have a pretty easy time coming out ahead. And in this game, I thought Flabbergazda made things much more interesting for me. I mean, I guess looking at this chart, it feels like I was miles ahead, but actually, my opponent had quite a few advantages that I did not enjoy. More econ, they had Lucina building Soak for free, Arca was absorbing a ton, and so it's not as one-sided an affair as this makes it look. And my opponent found several surprises for me. I did not think it was a third NG set, because there's just not really a good absorber, and there's good absorb denial in Lance-Tooth, good reasons to build attack quickly in Bloodphage. But there is, like, good soak in Hannibal. And of course, Arca is a good absorber, but it's like an attack-ish absorber, not something you build a bunch of drones for, usually. But, you know, there's the soak, and Lucina is a good reward for going high econ, right? It's a great unit, and red is great, and it produces soak to sort of help you justify your high economy. So maybe third NG was okay here, even though to me it seemed, you know, laughable almost. I don't remember if I laughed at it, but it was very shocking. I wonder if this Bloodphage was the wrong idea. Since I have the problem that next turn I have too much attack, which I knew would be a problem. Maybe it would have been better to build a Tarsier and a drone. Like, ugh, it just feels bad, doesn't it? If I could build a Tarsier and 2 drones, yes, sign me up. But I can't. And Bloodphage is basically like a fast Tarsier and a drone that you paid $1 for. The privilege of that extra attack. In addition to the clickability. Let's suppose that I'll eventually get enough Bloodphages that the clickability will be useful. That I sort of have access to it either way. And so we can ignore the clickability. In that case, Bloodphage is kind of like a drone and a Tarsier and a Gauss charge for $1. So at this point in the game, would I pay $1 for a Gauss charge? No. I would not, right? It's awful. You know, Gauss charge costs $1 and a green, and it's usually not buyable. If it just cost $1, like, yeah, you would buy it all the time. But right now, when we're like just at the absorb barrier and I can deny them down to 0 with Lance-Tooths, an extra Gauss charge this turn is quite bad. It basically doesn't do anything, so it's not even really worth $1. Or it forces me to actually like attack into this stuff, which I think is what I chose to do in the game. Yeah. But if I had built a Tarsier last turn, I could build another Tarsier this turn, and or maybe in fact a Bloodphage now, and feel quite comfortable with it. And then I could get another Lance-Tooth instead of this Flame Animus. And, you know, I sort of convinced myself that this was roughly an even trade, and I think it sort of is, but that's because I already gave myself a bad deal last turn, and I just didn't realize it. Right, like, let's look at the position at the beginning of turn 7, right? My permanent attack is what? 2, 4, 5, 7. Well, okay. I guess turn 7 is the wrong time because my Lance Tooth, or my, the Flame Animus, well, okay, I guess it's fine because in the other line, I'll have a Lance Tooth with build time 1, and I can sort of lump those together as the things I'm directly comparing. So here at the beginning of turn 7, I have 2 phages. Well, 2, 3, 4, 6 permanent attack. And my income is 15, 17, and a Flame Animus, with 1 more on the way. So that was 2, 3, 4, 6, 17, 2 phages, and an Animus, right? Let's say I try the other line here of getting a Tarsier instead. Opponent does nothing. I get another Lance Tooth, and now a Blood Phage, and a Drone. Here we are again at the beginning of turn 7. What do I have in terms of attack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 permanent attack. Same deal. How about income? 16, 17, plus 1 Flame Animus. I think that's the same as what I said before. I should have looked at gold totals. I have 17 apparently. The difference is that my opponent has 1 more engineer. I didn't manage to kill 1 last turn. And the unit I have coming in is a Lance Tooth instead of a Flame Animus. And I have fewer clickable phages. But I'm adding another one this turn anyway, so that's probably not that big a deal. Right, you kind of do this regardless here. Okay, so let's go back and look at the real line. And compare, like, also the amount of int gold I had. It was the same. I have 17 income. Yeah. So the only difference is that I've killed an engineer. This unit with build time is a Flame Animus instead of a Lance Tooth. And it's easier to click Blood Phages. But again, I don't think that's much of a consideration. I already have enough clickable Blood Phages. Is a Lance Tooth better than a Flame Animus? I think so. Right? Like it deals 2 damage, which has got to be better than a damage in a red. Unless you have like Perforator or something, in which case it's even, but it's definitely not better. And everything else is pretty much equal here. I thought it would come out more in favor of the Tarsier line because I had done some kind of crummy stuff that just killed 1 piddly little engineer. But I guess it really... I'm not sure why this doesn't come out a little bit different, because it's basically, instead of building a splitter, obviously none of these lines involved actually building a splitter, but my opponent has 1 more engineer, and the unit that I'm building next turn does 1 more attack, but produces less red. And everything else is equal. What unit is like that? What's a sequence of plays you could make with some other simpler base set units? It's like building... Well, it's like exactly what I did. It's like attacking for 3 into a wall instead of building a splitter. sorry, and building a splitter instead of building... No. Because then the splitter comes in a bit earlier. In this line, the Lance Tooth and the Flame Animus come in at the same time. So it's sort of like attacking for 3 into a wall and then building a build time 2 splitter. Instead of building a Lance Tooth and not attacking. And all the other stuff with like Phage versus Tarsier, Drone versus not sort of cancels out. And then it's just a question of like, is a red worth more than an attack? And the answer is like clearly no. Is the red worth well, I don't know. Like I'm getting a bit confused in the analysis here. I think it would have been better to get the Tarsier and the Drone still, but I didn't manage to convince myself very convincingly, I guess you could say. I just got caught up in building Blood Phage because it's a good unit, and why would you ever build Tarsier plus Drone? Answer, if the attack next turn is doing no good at all, then Tarsier plus Drone is probably better. Here, it didn't do no good, but it did, like, make things awkward for me. Opponent's Lucina was a big shocker to me. I should have realized... Like, I saw them put down a 3rd red, and I was like, that's weird. Why would you want 3 red here? But once... And then they built, like, another Flame Animus, so I was like, oh yeah, sure, Flame Animus is a good unit. Of course you would build a lot of them. But I didn't really think about the fact that it gets them up to 4 red. And they built all these Rhinos that, like, then didn't really do anything, and just... Engineers would have been better. That might have tipped me off that, like, something was amiss. Although, I don't know, the Rhinos forced me to build a wall instead of an attacker. Maybe they're okay, but they don't seem great. And normally you don't really get away with pressuring a Lucina because the soak that she builds is so good. And it also threatens, right? So you're under more pressure. I think the Lance Tooth, no, Hannibal, really helped me power through, I guess you could say, the Lucina. But I didn't consider that my opponent would lose all of their attackers and not give me value. That was a bit of a slip. And also this Arca, yeah, another shocker that I should have seen coming. And I'm like now down a Lucina and an Arca, and what I have to show for it is not really all that much. Like, I don't know, I guess I have a bunch of attack and a bunch of soak. Yeah, I don't know. I think my opponent definitely put on a good show this time. And I should have gotten my Arca much sooner than I did. But Hannibal's, right? Like, why absorb when you can soak? Ugh. I guess the problem was I just had so much attack that Arca was never good, even like a counter Arca. Right? Say this turn, I added... No, I already have the tech I need. Say I try to counter Arca, like... I'm already attacking for 6. They get full absorb into it, right? And they can deny me a bunch of value by clicking Bull and not giving me Arca value, so... I think I was right not to. I could have considered not continuing the Hannibal train to try to get an Arca and then go back to building Bulls, maybe. But the opponent's attack is low enough that I don't want Hannibal and Arca on the field at the same time, period. You know, whether they're at the same time when I build Arca doesn't matter. It's just I don't want them at the same time at all. So it feels a little bit weird to go through the Hannibal supply before building an Arca. But I got my opponent to finally build Hannibals while still holding Arca, and then I finally had a pretty good Arca. Not great. Still gave them 2 absorb, and I was holding back some attack to make it to defend against Gambits. But yeah, I feel like this really sealed the deal. If I wasn't already winning, this was game over. The extra Animus, I don't know, weird. I just was sort of running out of things to do, and so I tried this. Alright, well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.